Yes, so this car, obviously, I know it's not like this, it's an homage, it's a replica to showcase your skills. Where did the inspiration for this one come?
Again, it came from the fact that nobody had done it, and it was the first turbocharged 911. It was the first turbocharged entry at Le Mans in '74, and it's exceptionally rare. They built the first prototype off a '73 Targa Floria car, and then the other three evolved. This one's based on R13, which was came second in 1974 at Le Mans.
Okay.
And you rarely see them in the public eye.
So what model do you call this?
It's just a homage to R13.
R13.
But again, this is what's unique about.
R13 started off as a 2.8 RSR.
No, it didn't. It left the factory as a 74. They put certain chassis numbers on one side, so it was a G series shell destined for
with the impact bumpers originally.
That's it, destined for RS or 3 litre RSR production.
Okay.
But it's actually completely different. All the suspension, the floor pan, the fuel tanks in the middle of the car.
Wow.
The oil tanks in the front. And this car's under 800 kilos and 500 horsepower.
Incredible.
And it's all the running gear, so the dampers, the wheels, the braking systems sort of taken from a 917.
Superb. So how long do you think till you'll have this one running? Obviously it's still work in progress.
This one's, the gearbox is being built at the minute, the wiring harness is in it, we've got the pistons to machine, because obviously nothing existed for this car.
Okay.
When I approached Jürgen Barth 6 years ago, and suggested we wanted to build one, and would it get sanctioned to get FIA approval, because the plan is to take it racing.
Okay.
His advice was not to. He said it's too difficult to build because there's no plan, there's no information for it.
Okay.
The biggest thing is the research. Fortunately, we've had access to 2 of the original cars, but they were all slightly different. So this ran, as I said, it's the first turbocharged 911, but the engine and the gearbox are very different in it. The engine's a flat fan, single turbocharger, 2.14 litre. So it took
it was the small engine, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it didn't run an aluminium crankcase. It ran in its original spec. It ran a magnesium case, and then it evolved to the tooling was used that made the mag case, but then they cast it in the aluminium used on the competition cars.
Yeah, but slightly heavier but much stronger.
And then the flat fan was developed off this, the single turbocharger, the plenum air-to-air intercooler, and the gearbox casing is very different.
And the flat fan was used on had already been used on the 908 and cars like that, hadn't it? So I suppose they just used that technology.
Every fastener on this car is titanium.
Really?
So we've had to remanufacture all the titanium fasteners, even the screws, all the bodywork's all made in-house. There's 1,000 hours in body and paint in this car, because we've gone to the next level. Everything on here is painted.
Now, out of interest, did the factory use titanium for all those
Yes, they
fixings?
did.
They did.
Yeah,
so
and they were all stamped KAB, which is hence where the weight came from. So this runs, the steering column's different, it's extended. It's only when you start going through the car you realise the detail changes in it. So the only thing that's, I've had, there's nothing on the car that's not changed, because the roof line's different.
Yeah,
obviously it's been degutted.
Yeah.
The floor pan's different, the suspension pickups front and rear have changed. All the rear chassis legs are drilled out, there's no cross member in there.
Wow,
So
that's a very impressive piece of work, Mark. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem. Appreciate you coming by.
Thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Thanks, guys.